want to take a moment to first say I'm not feeling well. But the second part is I want to chat a little bit about the dilemma of trying to focus on what you're doing, what you want to do with your kids, and how your ex is either inhibiting it or causing problems. Now, it gets really tough whenever you're going through this to not think about or not focus on what your ex is or is not doing. And oftentimes, this can be really problematic if one parent isn't supporting things and the kids are looking towards you to make things happen. In my situation, this really comes about with all the stuff required for having a kid that's a senior in high school, which some of you, maybe you've already dealt with that, or maybe you're getting ready to deal with it. The trouble is, if one parent is refusing to basically help financially, then it leaves everything up to you. And what I want to dive into, or what I really want to hit on this, is the dilemma that happens whenever you get really frustrated with that. You're really wanting, your ex to pull their fair share to pay their part, and they refuse to do it. This can be in a bunch of different ways. My situation, the ex is fully funded for me, and just says she doesn't have the money, whatever. And the kids have accepted that, and as far as I know, they don't really ask her much. It could be the opposite way around, to where your ex could have a ton of money and basically comes out and says, hey, look, I'm paying you. That's what that money's for, so I've already paid it. Bottom line is, you can get yourself into this whirlwind of chaos if you really focus on what your ex is or is not doing and wanting them to do what you want them to do. The main thing to remember is it's really probably never going to happen. And conversely, if they think that you want them to do it, there's even a better chance that they'll never do it. The thing is, I can kind of understand this, because in my current situation, things are pretty tight, right? Things aren't exactly great, and I'm not exactly rolling around in money. So it's not like I just have a boatload of money and it's no big deal, and it's like, well, whatever. I'm going through this balancing stage where I'm trying to okay, when is this bill due? When, if I pay this for the school, when do I have to pay my car insurance? Or when is my rent going to increase? Or when is the electric bill due? Or, all those type of things, which probably most of you can relate to. The thing is, I would really encourage you to focus on what you really can do with and for your kids. And this is not the easiest thing in the world to do. As I'm talking about this is something that I'm talking about that I'm actually struggling with, that I actually have some issues with, because it's really frustrating every time I turn around and it's like, oh, I need money for, I need money for the grad night. I need money for the AP test. I need money for senior trip. I need money for graduation. I need money for, it's like, and every one of those things is like $200 here, $200 there. It's a little daunting. The thing is I would say, if you can pull it off, try to just focus on making it work the best you can. Recognize the reality that your ex isn't going to help. More than likely will allow you to pay for everything, set everything up, and then want to jump in like a hero and participate. And I know that that's really frustrating. It's not bothering me so much this year, but I know a few years back with my son, it was a little harder. It was like, seriously, really? You're not going to do anything, and then as soon as I pay for everything, then it's like you want to be right there. And it really rubbed me the wrong way. The key is, this whole thing, what you need to focus on, what you really need to think about, is it's not about you. It's not about me. It's not about the ex. It's about your kid, and it's about making the best experience that you possibly can, with what you can do. I mean, if there's things you can't afford, then there's just things you can't do. You know, I mean, if it's one of those things where, you know, let's say your ex has a ton of money and you are completely broke and you want your child to experience all these different things, you know, senior chip, you know, prom, all that different stuff, and you just can't do it, then you do what you can, right? You're like, okay, well, I can't pay for everything. I can pay for this. What's the priority? I really hate that my kids are going through this. I'm sure if you're going through the same thing, that you probably feel the same way. Try not to get so wrapped up into it. It's wasted energy. It'll drive you insane. It'll make you angry. It'll pull you back down into that bitter anger mode, which doesn't help, doesn't do anything positive. And just, you know, focus on what you can do. And just that kind of goes back to that black hole thinking. If you haven't seen it, I'll put a card up in the cards above to where you can check it out. But the premise behind that is, the short version is that you basically just focus on your reality, what your situation is, and you just separate it from whatever the exes, whatever they're doing. If they won the damn lottery and they could cover everything, but they're not willing to do it, it doesn't matter. You focus on what you can do and what you can pull off, and making the best out of a situation that's pretty complicated, and trying to make sure that you can maintain a good solid bond with your kids. So I just wanted to hit that because I know in the last few weeks that I've even had some issues where I've been kind of really frustrated with this. I'm like, seriously? And you know, you want to basically make an issue out of it, and it's wasted energy. So hopefully that's helpful. If you're dealing with this, I would highly encourage you to pre-plan. You know, I mean, if your kids are not, you know, maybe they're a sophomore or whatever, earmark some money, put it aside so that you have it for the senior stuff. See, you know, ask some people on what it costs so you don't get blindsided by it, because I was blindsided by it with my son. And, you know, try to make the best of it that you can. So again, focus on what you can control, and focus on trying to make it the best possible experience for you and your kids. And just as a little caveat, I pay for everything, but I guarantee you that they're still going to do the graduation party will be with mom, just like it was with my son. I've accepted that. You know, I know my kids love me. I know that they care about me, and that's what I focus on to make this work. And I don't focus on how it affects me. I focus more on how it affects them. Not the easiest thing to do, so keep that in mind. All right, on that, I'm going to wrap this up, and I will chat with you on the next video. Take care. Bye.